After 3 decades in the business, Robert Downey Jr. has become one of the most respected actors in Hollywood, but his long road to success has come without a few bumps along the way.
Get that out of my face.
It's not in your face, it's in my hand.
Get what's in your hand out of my face.
With his latest film, Sherlock Holmes, A Game of Shadows, Robert Downey Jr. has made nearly 60 movies, playing a superhero and a silent screen superstar before he first played the British super detective.
Well, I think particularly if you're going to do something that's such a big brand name and so iconic as Holmes, you got to pull out the stops and really pour some cake into it and really make it big and fun.
He was little, just 5 when he made his first movie, Pound, directed by his father. His big breakthrough was about 15 years away.
Yeah, you were looking at us.
In 1985, he made Weird Science with Anthony Michael Hall. That same year, he joined Hall in the cast of Saturday Night Live.
Live from New York, it's Saturday night!
What's that?
And then came his first lead role, The Pickup Artist, with Molly Ringwald.
I'm romantic.
Next was Less Than Zero, the tale of rich kids from Beverly Hills with too much cocaine, money, and time to kill. Robert was on a roll when E.T. first met him in 1987.
It's strange, like, driving down the street and people kind of accost you verbally. But it doesn't make me feel hot, hot. I don't know. I'm just happy to be working. My primary concern now is picking the right projects, but, a year and a half ago it was rent, food, support myself.
And he had found himself in love.
I have a girlfriend named Sarah Jessica Parker. She's one of the finest actresses in America.
5 years later with Chaplin, Downey was considered among the finest actors, earning his first Oscar nomination playing the legendary Charlie Chaplin. He spent nearly a year researching the silent screen comic.
It's been a real love-hate relationship with Charlie for me because, I'm so preoccupied with him. I think about very little else. I hope my performance serves to get people to watch Charlie Chaplin movies, and if that could happen, it's great because it's changed my life. It really has. It gives you a whole different perspective on communication and art and humor and the sadness behind that.
Just a few years later, Downey endured some very public personal problems, and the future of his career was in jeopardy. But he fought his way back with films including Wonder Boys, starring Michael Douglas.
Look, I understand you're upset.
In 2003 came Gothica with Halle Berry. That's when he met Susan Levin, one of the producers. 2 years later, they were married, and they are expecting their first child, a son, very soon. Susan would also serve as a producer on the 2 Sherlock Holmes films.
It was very smart that everything was set up with her as being a on-set producer because I don't want to be away from her for a long time, and we got a good thing going on.
With his success in Sherlock Holmes and Iron Man, plus a second Oscar nomination for Tropic Thunder, Downey is now an enduring movie star. And you can find all of his movies mentioned here on DVD. This year, he was honored for his achievement by the American Cinematheque. And last year, he put his hand and footprints in cement at Hollywood's famous Chinese theater.
I remember when I was a kid and we lived up the street on Cherokee, we were staying at the Montecito Hotel. I used to walk down here. It's just kind of wild that I'm here now.
Oh, how I've missed you, Holmes.
Have you?
Of course, Jude Law is back playing Watson to his friend Holmes, and like his co-star, Jude also has earned 2 Oscar nominations. Just shy of 39, Jude began his career in his native England back in 1987, but it wasn't until 1997 with the sci-fi thriller Gattaca that American audiences got a good look. It was his first American movie and his very first chat with E.T.
I hadn't done a film for a few years, so it was exciting just to be on set again. And on set on a relatively large American film was extraordinary because you hear so many, stories about it.
He had married British actress Sadie Frost just days before the interview. Their first child, son Rafferty, was almost a year old.
It's one of those funny things. It's like people say, how have you changed since you've been a father? It's a hard thing to say. It's made it a lot simpler. He comes first and then everything else follows.
Following that for Jude was The Talented Mr. Ripley, for which he earned his first Oscar nomination. His co-stars included Gwyneth Paltrow and Matt Damon.
And other than that, me and Matt were constantly laughing about the dynamics of this relationship.
In the film, Matt was attempting to steal Jude's identity, Jude enjoying playing the role of a rich man.
I was playing a millionaire's son, so I was out drinking fantastic wine and eating the best food.
staying up late.
And being on location in Italy was a bonus.
You get a sense when you're filming somewhere, especially if it's recognisable, you get a sense that you're kind of becoming a permanent part of it. Like, you will forever be able to, see yourself in that environment, and that's really nice.
4 years later came Cold Mountain with Nicole Kidman and Renee Zellweger. His third child was born during filming.
I jumped on a jet and shot home, and I made it with about 4 hours to spare.
Cold Mountain brought him his second Oscar nomination, and in 2004, he starred in 6 movies. One of them was Alfie, in which he played a major league womanizer.
You don't research this role, and if you do, you get yourself in a lot of trouble.
In Alfie, he romanced Susan Sarandon, Marissa Tomei, and Sienna Miller.
She just exploded onto this film and this film set, and we were all pretty much in love. She's a very, very charismatic, very open, very lovely woman.
A real-life romance with Miller began, and his marriage came to an end. So would his engagement to Miller. But on screen, at least, he enjoyed kisses with Julia Roberts in Closer and Cameron Diaz in The Holiday. Check out all of Jude's work on DVD and then see the sequel to the huge hit Sherlock Holmes. Long before he made this one, Jude told us just how he picks his roles.
I like doing films that I'd go and see, and that I'm proud of.